Hello everybody, welcome back. So let's have a look at Matic then, shall we? So Matic, you could call it consolidation, you could call it a continuation of the drop that it suffered when Bitcoin fell. Whatever you call it, it's tailing off a little further than we would have liked, despite its relative strength on the day that Bitcoin decided to take a tumble. It proved itself to be twice as strong as Bitcoin that day. So Bitcoin fell, but didn't recover as well as Matic. Matic recovered twice as good, so offering up twice as much strength as Bitcoin on the buybacks. Now, what seems to have happened now is that there was a bit more of a move take place with Matic, but it's tailed off now, and we've come back down underneath the centre of the Bollinger Band, where we were rejected from just as yesterday, and today we've got a continuation of that move, finding a little bit of a bounce on the 50 here, but not really strong enough. That 50, even though we held up here quite well, and it looks as though we were held up here and perhaps maybe here today. Historically, with Matic, the 50 simple isn't really a moving average that often creates a great deal of weight. That said, recently the price action has sort of reacted to it. We were rejected from it here, we were supported from it here. That was more of a Bollinger Band support there, here and here. So it is our last stand, unfortunately, for Matic, as we are now trending beneath all moving averages, this is on the Tether, I should say. Tether's looking a little worse than the Sats level, but the Sats has dropped a bit today, as Bitcoin looks like it intends on having a little bit of a pump, perhaps maybe up to 7,700, but unlikely to break, certainly unlikely to break 8,000, and it's more of an opportunity, I'd say, to take a new short position than it would be anything else. Anyway, we'll have a quick look at these Sats, because there's not a great deal to go through with Matic, because like I say, it is kind of suffering a little bit now, and it's wavering a little, but you know, it did pump quite a lot. You know, it pumped more than quite a lot actually just recently, so it's still doing okay as a result of that pump. It's not lost and retraced completely, although it could perhaps, when it comes to Tether, it could maybe, worst case scenario, in the coming weeks and months retrace completely, because Bitcoin looks like it's got another 30% or more to drop. So we're looking at the Sats here. So the rule of thumb with Matic now is that we really want to stay above 170 Sats, and dropping beneath 170 Sats, which is our main support level that we've found ourselves at now. If we break beneath that, we'd be looking to around about 155, which is this blue box territory. I'll just move this across along a little bit more, around about 157, I think, or 50. No, it's about 155 Sats. That area, if to be lost, would cause a continuation of this fall all the way down. We would have this green 50, which is always a good one to be bouncing around on, and but if that falls, then yeah, we do have that purple, but you know, like I said before, it doesn't really offer much support, and then all the way back down to the centre, to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, and perhaps below. But at the moment the chart looks okay. We're consolidating, but we're trending alongside Bitcoin as well. Even though we did show relative strength, we're now losing that strength with Matic, but it might not be the end of the world, you know. Like I say, we had a significant pump here. So long as we hold 170 Sats, we should be good to go. And if that falls, it's 155 Sats. With the price of Matic and correlating with the price of Bitcoin, we could find ourselves coming back down to the 1 cent level, whilst holding that Sat level. That's entirely possible. We could be sinking all the way down to 1 cent, or maybe lower, depending on how far Bitcoin wants to go. It could go lower than that, so we could be going as below 1 cent, while holding 170 Sats or so, or maybe higher, because Bitcoin, like I say, is coming down it's likely to come down quite significantly. But again, it's just a matter of waiting for this one to play out. We'll have a look at some of these indicators. We're about to enter bearish territory. Our RSI is tired, and it looks like it wants to come down more. So there is more to come with Matic, unless for whatever reason it does find itself a pump. It looks like it's likely to come down, probably to around about the 1.2 cent mark, and maybe worst case scenario over time, as close to 1 cent. But we'll see how we go with all of this. Like I say, the market's bearish, definitely bearish. There's a death cross actually took place on the crypto market. This is including Bitcoin, so the crypto market including Bitcoin, excluding Bitcoin, that had a death cross quite a long time ago. Hence why all the altcoins collapsed the way they did a few months ago. So we've had a new death cross on the crypto market across the board, including Bitcoin. That happened a few days ago, and Bitcoin looks like it is going to have its death cross in the next few days. It's basically having a massive continuation of all the way down across the board with all coins, and it's likely to be down for a long time, months, maybe. Once that death cross happens and we find Bitcoin at the price of around $5,000 or less, we're probably more than likely to find a Bitcoin value stay around that level, between 4,000 to 6,000 for several months, way into next year, maybe. It's difficult to put your finger on it until it actually happens and you see the price of a Bitcoin, like I say, because we might go into a full retracement with Bitcoin. I find that concept quite unlikely, but it's possible. It's definitely possible. But if we do make it down to the 5,000s or lower, we'll probably stay down there for a while. I'm talking several months, because all the money will have basically been taken out, and nobody in their right mind is going to want to put money back into them until it shows signs of recovery. And it's not going to show signs of recovery immediately after it fell. All the oscillators, all the moving averages will need to tail off and reset before there's any kind of chance for it to make a pump again. So that's just one of the reasons that we'll be down for a while. But it doesn't mean the end of the world. You could obviously sell your Matic if you were brave enough to do that. You can short it. More interested to short things like Bitcoin, which are a bit easier to track than something like Matic. Matic is unpredictable in its nature. It's also a crypto coin with a new company that are going to be releasing things all the time, so there is that chance. So it's a dangerous one to short, really, because anything can happen with Matic. It could quite easily just pump and when it makes moves, it makes significant moves. So I wouldn't really fancy margin trading with Matic because of its unpredictable in nature and its huge moves when it does decide to move. It's a bit more of a gambler's mentality to get involved in Matic on a margin trade. But Bitcoin, a little bit more predictable, and that's where I'm going to be doing a lot of my trading, just on Bitcoin, margin trading, shorting and things like that. And if you're interested in that, set yourself up a Bybit account. I've got a link at the bottom of my profile. Set it up through there, and you can make plenty of money as Bitcoin falls, essentially accumulating Bitcoin all the way down for when it hits its bottom and you're ready to buy it back up again. Anyway, I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy, and thanks for watching.